Hi, Sagittarius. This is going to be your reading from January 5th through the 11th. It is good for the sun, rising, moon, and being a sign of Sagittarius. It is a general message, however, so it will not resonate with all of you. If this doesn't resonate, try watching readings for your rising, moon, or Venus sign. You could find messages there instead. If you would like to book a private live one-on-one reading with me that's just for you, the link to my website for private readings with me is in the description below. If you are new, welcome to Soma Chandra Tarot. Subscribe and hit that bell. When you hit the bell, you know when I read for your sign. Right now, it's Soma Chandra Sagittarius. This is a Celtic cross, and I have dropped several cards in each placement. I do love messages for you, Sagittarius, on my other channel called Soma Chandra Libra. This could apply to any part of your life. I think that this is very much about you. There's a lot of major arcana here, which tells me you guys are going through something pretty major. So I used a lot of oracle cards to bring in support and advice to tie it all together. So to illuminate the situation, what came out for me first was regain control, embrace change, but patience. That is your forte when you are at your best. Temperance. So right now you're in a place where you're trying to regain control of something that I think you felt like got away from you within yourself. This requires you to embrace some change, but it's taking a while and you need to be patient, in particular with yourself, I think. The Sacred Geometry deck wanted to weigh in as well, so Metatron wanted to speak. He is the keeper of Akashic records of all time and your time here. So grace in reverse, transformation and attraction. So grace is about smooth adaptation to something and anticipation of life's currents and changes and an evolution. So I think that up until now, you might have had a hard time handling a situation gracefully, but now is a time of transformation for you. And the energy of transformation supports our ability to gracefully flow through times of transition, allowing the old to make way for the new. So here's gracefully. I found it ironic that a card of transformation with the word gracefully came out after grace in reverse. So I think that you've been undergoing a transformation. Perhaps you've had a hard time handling it gracefully, but you know that you need to transform right now. There's something old that you need to let go of to make way for the new. This puts you finally in the energy of attraction. The energy of attraction amplifies the qualities that attract and support us on our journey towards inner balance and harmony. That's you, Sagittarius, balance and harmony. So I think that you guys are learning lessons right now about the law of attraction, which is you will attract to you whatever you're putting out and what you attract to yourself. Right now, you're really on a journey to let go of things that don't bring inner balance and harmony. This has been a struggle for you, I think. Actually, I know it has because last week when I read for you here on this channel, you saw yourselves as the devil and the Five of Swords in the upright. So you were fighting with something, a lower energy. This week, the devil came out again. Actually, a lot of the same cards came out again, just in different positions and in different upright versus reversal. The devil's in reverse this week. So I think you're getting it. I think you're getting it. They gave you some advice. Name all the things you love. Are you one of them? I think right now you're meant to be focusing on self-love and focusing on the things in your life that you love and trust. Also, the soul truth wants you to ask yourself another question. To whom am I comparing myself right now? When you compare yourself to other people, it really affects your self-esteem in a negative way. The only person you should be competing with right now is yourself. What is the best version of myself? What is the lowest version of myself? So your guides are really asking you to love yourself and stop comparing yourself to other people. All that you need and want is within you. Today, stop comparing and start creating. So when you compare yourself to other people, it's really going to mess up your creative flow. And Sages are very creative people. At the bottom of this deck, your guide said that you needed this. What boundaries need to be created or strengthened within my relationships? I know boundaries have been a problem because when I looked at what's happening for you the way the animal spirit guides see it, octopus came out between yourself and the environment. This card, even in the upright, suggests difficulty with boundaries between yourself with yourself or with others, or their boundaries with you. So your guides really want you to work on boundaries right now as well. That's important. So I do think something's kind of been pissing you off. This could be happening at work, in a relationship, even within yourself. I have fire ant for you, the golden egg in reverse, and dolphin flipped out for you. So the fire ant works very diligently at something. It will be a good team player too, but it works fervently. And at any minute, someone in fire ant energy is about to snap. There's something that you're growing more and more salty about by the minute. I think you feel like you're doing a lot of work here, and I think you feel as though you're not being treasured. It's really important that you see yourself as a treasure. The golden egg is the treasure within. And you've lost that twinkle in your eye at the moment. Perhaps some of you have been overworked. So it's really important to communicate well and state your needs in relationships, and don't do all the work for others. You're starting to feel somewhat undervalued and unappreciated. Maybe you feel like you have to compete to get someone's attention in some way. You don't. You really don't. Someone in your environment, this could be more than one relationship in your life, a group of people. Because so many major arcana came out, I think you guys are probably about to do a major overhaul of the kind of relationships you have in your life. Butterfly in reverse and Phoenix in reverse for someone or people in the environment. This is also just a hidden factor that might be going on with inside yourself that you need to be, attention needs to be drawn to that. Both butterfly and phoenix are about transformation and rising above. Butterfly transforms and goes on a long journey back to its place of birth, even sometimes. And phoenix is out of the ashes, the phoenix will rise. If this is a person around you, there is not going to be transformation and a rebirth. Not at this time. If you have been trying to make major changes in your life, there may be a specific person, situation, or several people and situations around you, Sagittarius, that are not helping you grow, because the mutual energy between yourself and the environment is octopus in reverse. This is bad boundaries between yourself and another person. So when I tie all that with the oracle messages, I do think that you are starting to regain control. And your guides want you to know it takes you time to redraw boundary lines with yourself and others, and it takes practice. You might need to really communicate directly with other people right now about who you are and what you're about. So at the center of everything, here's the devil. Last week you saw yourself as the devil in the upright. This week, I think that the center of everything is about recognizing your shadow side. And the catalyst is the Hermit. These two cards together tell me that some of you are undergoing incredibly productive shadow work right now. If that is the case for you, get support and love, because it's a very precarious time. Some of you are just dealing with a Virgo or a Capricorn here, but I think that you are trying to face your shadow side head on. I think that you are releasing lower energy. The devil is about things that we're chained and bound to, and probably not in an appropriate way. Addiction, restriction, obsession, desire. Yeah, I think you're facing that. And the catalyst here, or a challenge for you, is the Hermit. The Hermit can flip into the reverse if he spends too much time alone. So your guides are saying right now, if you have any challenges, it might be because some of you have chosen to walk off and do this alone because you feel that you need to. If you have to search your soul and spend time alone and do a deep dive within, that's okay. Watch out for isolating yourself. Watch out for depression or denial. I usually read the catalyst card in the upright, but there's a lot of strength to be gained from doing this kind of work. Deep past and deep, deep within. I have the moon in reverse and the Six of Wands in reverse. Crazy. Last week, using a different deck, Sag, the moon came out for you in this very spot, I think. I went back and watched the reading again and looked at my notes. It came out in the upright, which meant you might have been wandering around in some illusion and fear and anxiety and a blindness. This week, I think that what I'm seeing here for you is I think you're facing the future with uncertainty, and I think repressed emotions are bubbling to the surface. Things that were hidden and veiled in moonlight, things that others hid from you and that you even hid from yourself are now starting to show their faces within you. I think that whatever this was about, it was a situation that maybe you felt like you failed and you fell from grace because for me, the moon is about blind love, illusion, delusion. Your intuition's heightened, but it's almost like we refuse to see something that's right in front of us, and we can only fly like by our instruments or our intuition. But that can be difficult for humans because the minute our intellectual brains get a hold of an intuitive feeling, we can intellectualize or rationalize our way into just about anything, despite how uncomfortable it makes us feel. I think to be able to get yourself out of this moonlight and this lower energy sort of makes you realize that, or you feel as though you've fallen from grace in some way, or you're beginning to see that you're not or did not have the success that you wanted to. You might be suddenly realizing that something that you were focusing on isn't going to bring you the recognition and reward that you wanted it to at the time. Ego might have gotten in the way. Something happened recently. This will be different for each of you. The Wheel of Fortune in reverse and Justice. I don't know how much more major arcana. I mean, there's so many major arcana cards here. I think you guys are going through quite a bit all at once. The Wheel of Fortune and Justice is karma and justice for me. What happened? The Wheel of Fortune in reverse is an unfortunate event or a series of unfortunate events that come out as feeling like bad fate and bad luck. There was a resistance to change and an inability to allow for expansion. You might have gotten some justice in that situation. This always feels like a punishment, and it's not. Your guides are saying justice has been served. And if you feel as though you've gotten justice for anything, it's because that you might have been engaging with people or a situation that resisted change and growth and expansion. There are consequences for that. Justice teaches us we get what we give. So something might have happened. I have the Tower here too. So I think something might have happened for you guys. Something might have even happened legally for you or with a person you were connecting to that cause some kind of karmic justice here. There could also be a person around you that wants justice with you. But I think things are righted now. What you're thinking about and what your soul is telling you right now, the Seven of Swords in reverse to the Hangman. So all the cards that are difficult, like the Devil and the Moon and the Seven of Swords, are here and they're in the reverse. So I think some things are being revealed to you at this time, either from with things about yourself are being revealed to you or things about some other people or some situations are starting to come to light. You clearly need to search your soul about it. It's triggering you to do shadow work and to pay attention to the boundary issues. And that people around you are not helping you with transformation. As a matter of fact, they're agitating you and making you feel untreasured. But I think that you're trying to accept that. The advice from Spirit is don't cheat yourself, don't kid yourself. If there are any situations where you do need to be careful and be strategic and act upon your own behalf, you might be struggling to do that right now. And that it's time to treat yourself better. With the Hangman here, your guides are telling you you need to just pause and surrender to something and see it from a different point of view. The Hangman is where we get ourselves into a situation that we're not comfortable with, but we put ourselves there. And it's just a time to pause and let go and say, it is what it is. I have to surrender. I have to see this from a new point of view. Our perception of reality largely governs our emotions and how we feel about something. So your soul is telling you, look, don't cheat or kid yourself about anything. If you have any feelings of guilt, you can always turn over a new leaf. If you notice this about someone else, Look that shit right in the eye and see it for what it is. Yikes, that's heavy. Next actions coming in for you this week, the actions you will be taking. Six of Swords and the Fool in reverse. The Fool is the most powerful card in the deck. So I can see that you're in a place of transition. I think that you're trying to get a new cycle in your life off the ground, but you're going through some heavy stuff. So it doesn't surprise me that something is slow going for you. I'm hearing a very different message all of the sudden. For some of you, this is something about career. You need more exposure. There is a lack of attraction between yourself and your clients or your audience. Some legal matters might have to be worked out. You might need to wait a while. That's weird. That came out of nowhere. That's a very different kind of message. But I do see that there's slow movement and you're in a place of transition, a rite of passage, letting go of the baggage. And the Fool really does want to take a leap of faith and leave the past behind without being reckless or careless or foolish. So it's really hard to be the Fool. Once you get to like 35, being the Fool and like starting all over again from scratch is difficult. Try to embody the best parts of the Fool, where we get in touch with our inner child and we're carefree and we're authentic. Sometimes the Fool is a little careless, but he's not meant to be tied down. He's brand new to a situation and he's just making his way in the world. So I see that you're trying to move forward in a situation. I don't think you're going to be reckless. I think that you're just maybe having a hard time taking a leap of faith. It's a little difficult right now to take a risk. Maybe you have to wait for something. Maybe you need to wait for your moment. There might be a situation that you need to get out of quickly. You're just struggling to give yourself permission to act on your own behalf. If all of those swords belong to you, then take them and go. If they don't, leave the ones behind that aren't yours. Don't kid yourself, don't cheat yourself, don't kid or cheat anyone else either, right? Yeah. The way you see yourself right now, this is heavy. Three of Swords in reverse to the Nine of Swords in reverse. Wow, lots of swords. I think something for quite some time, Sagittarius, has really broken your heart and stressed you out. And this could have to do with any part of your life. I like that these are in reverse. All the cards that represent something difficult to go through are in the reverse. So definitely things have been brought into balance for you. I think it has to do whatever the hell this tower is. Something has happened. Things have happened. If anything has blown apart in your life, it's all been for your own behalf and your own good, to bring you into balance, to help you see something from a different point of view, to help you get out of the moonlight and think about what's my personal definition of success here, and to examine your own ego and anywhere that you think you might have failed. Yeah. And what parts of yourself need to shine and what parts of yourself need to be worked on. So I see you focusing on optimism. I see you trying to release inner turmoil. This is a delicate time, so get support and get rest. In your environment, I have the Eight of Cups in reverse and the Three of Cups in reverse. Here's that boundary problem showing its face right here. This could be with a group of people. This could be with a specific person. These could even be co-workers. First of all, there's a lot of emotion here, but a lack of coming together for creative collaboration and healthy, positive communal interaction. So if this is a specific person, that could have been a third party situation. There could have been hardcore partying and drinking. This isn't a good soul tribe. There's not going to be a reunion. But whoever this person is, you can't seem to walk away from each other. This speaks to abandonment issues. So watch out for surrounding yourself with people who aren't transforming. A card in the upright is a card of investment. If we have to walk away, we have to walk away and move towards something more positive. Or it could be like, let's walk away and put the past behind us and just try to have a good, healthy friendship or move towards new, better connections. That seems to be a struggle between yourself and others in the environment or someone in the environment at this time. So if someone keeps saying to you, I'm done with you, no, they're not. They just don't want to do anything productive. I think that right now, deep within, hidden factors within you, Sagittarius, is that you're learning lessons of independence. especially here with the Hermit, and not letting your shadow side and anything that you're stuck on get the better of you. And I also think that you're facing um, possibly some emotional abandonment issues. Those are hard to transition away from, right? Yeah. Getting away from relationships that make you feel this way are difficult. That's why I like the soul truth, what it had to say to you. Love yourself first. Name all the things you love. Are you one of them? Putting yourself before other people, not comparing yourself to anyone else right now, and knowing that there are boundaries that need to be created or strengthened. That'll help you feel a lot better about a relationship you have with yourself and with others at this time. But you're going in an amazing direction. The way you feel is the magician and the star. That's right. Moving towards freedom, healing, independence, a spiritual renewal from within, finding your higher purpose, and knowing that you have to co create that no one will do it for you. You're going to have to manifest that shit. I think you're in a planning phase. I think you are starting to feel hopeful. I think you're finally realizing that you feel like you want to be in a place in your life where you have all the tools you need to succeed and you've discovered your own power and you can do it. None of your talents are being, underutilized. Nothing is going to waste. And you can do this all by yourself. I see a burst of hope within your heart here, which is wonderful. You're going through an awful lot. So to feel this optimistic, that shouldn't surprise me. You're Sagittarius, you're fire signs, you're optimistic, you're carefree, very philosophical. I love this. And the final outcome just makes me want to cry. The Tower to the Sun. So, with the Wheel in reverse injustice in the Tower, something major went down for you. And it might have been all for your benefit to force you to face the shadow side and to knock you out of this moonlight, to help you break something that might have been really hard for you to move on from. The tower doesn't always have to be bad. It looks kind of bad. I mean, they're not walking out, they're falling out. And clearly, no one was prepared for this explosion because, well, he's not wearing any clothes. So I think that something happened, even if it's happening on a spiritual level where you're like, wait a minute, I'm finally ready to rebuild. I'm having a sudden shift and an awakening. It's all meant to bring you into the sunlight, the sun, the energy of Leo here for you. Warmth, vitality, clarity, things all out in the open. Honestly, when the tower and the sun come out, also with the devil in reverse, sometimes we do need a tower moment and we need the cold, hard light of day to shine on our shadow side or something that isn't good for us. Because when the sun is at its highest, it casts the longest shadows. And that's when you can see the shadows. You can really see them. You can't always see the shadows in the moonlight. They look like monsters. We can pretend they're something that they're really not. So, through all of this, Sagittarius, everything seems to be lining up to take you towards a place of happiness. You might be having a hard time dealing with it. Clearly, you might be. I mean, you seem like you are with the Three of Swords in reverse and the Nine of Swords in reverse. So just keep searching your soul. You do not have to hide from this sunlight. I think whatever has happened is leading you towards a really wonderful place of happiness. But I do notice at the bottom of the deck the Four of Cups. So I think that often the Four of Cups is sort of like this general malaise and we're reevaluating something. In this deck, it looks very different. You look at him, he's reading a book. Sages love to read and learn. I think you're suddenly inspired by something new here. That's a dream that you want to see through to fruition. It must have taken quite a bit of time or something major having to happen for you to get here. So, if you've been beating yourself up at all, this looks like you might have been or been in a situation that wasn't good for you. I think you know it and I think you're getting out of it. Watch for negative self talk, okay? Just take the advice that Spirit is giving you. Pay really close attention to relationships that do not allow for transformation and growth, that keep you from going on the journeys you want. Good grief, you're the sign that always wants to go on a journey. You are always on a journey. Always Sagittarius is on a journey. I definitely want you guys to feel like a treasure. I don't want you pissed off to the point where you're ready to snap. You deserve to be the dolphin energy and have the twinkle in your eye. If you just regain control and are patient and focus on the law of attraction, attracting people and energy into our lives that support our journey, you will find the inner peace and the balance. Yeah, this was intense. This is a good reading. Okay, Sag, that's the reading I have for you this week. If this reading resonates with you, I truly hope it helps you. You guys know that's all I want to do. I love reading for your signs so very much. Check out my sister channel, Soma Chandra Libra, for love messages. This has seemed to be very much about you and your personal journey. So I hope it helped. I'm always listening to the universe for you, Sagittarius. Take care of yourselves. I love you guys. Peace. I'll see you next time.